and welcome to this Video Sans Frontières video. My name is Jay Wakefield. Today we're going to be looking at a box. Now this should be brilliant, except there is one slight issue. Once I'm done with the box, I can't install it onto the keykeeper's bed because the keykeeper doesn't live anywhere near me. He lives in Illinois. Anyway, in this video we have LML3 with us. Road Geek was going to be here, but he said that his doctor had told him not to ruin any more of my videos.
If he does that again, he'll have to call the doctor.
Yeah. Hey Billy, you've got to come see the doctor. Right, okay. So this is a box, like I said. And, well, it's more the contents of the box that I'm going to be looking at in this video. So let's unbox whatever's in the box. Let's box this off. First of all, I need something with which to cut the box. But, safety first. If you are the sort of person that thinks that John Boehner is the best person to run the world, you are not responsible enough to use a knife. And you should probably go and find a responsible adult. Senator Bernie Sanders, for example. Anyway, second thing you need is a cup of tea. That's pure fine, that is. Anyway, let's get cutting. In the words of the Conservative and Unionist Party of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, let's get cutting. That's a political joke. So this, well, I'll tell you once I've unboxed. There we go. Okay, we have a kettle lead, which is good, except my kettle doesn't use those. It's a sticky kettle lead. That's not so good. Pardon?
Does he use the Mickey Mouse?
No, it's a regular power lead.
Oh.
We call them kettle leads over here because once upon a time, a few years ago, kettles actually used to use the same leads.
They used to use IEC.
Yep. Aha! And now, the pièce de résistance.
It's a Dell.
It's a Dell Optiplex 380 and it has a Windows 7 certificate of authenticity. I really like that. The fact that it has a proper certificate of authenticity.
Well, you can just use a Dell Windows 7 disk on it and it'll be fine.
Yep, I have such a thing. It's amazing. I used a Dell Windows 7 disk on a D630, but I actually had to use my own key. You know, when Dell support found out, they were like, "Oh, you gonna cry now?"
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Dell.
Actually, that does sound a lot like Dell support.
It kind of does, actually.
See, and this is the thing. I mean, Dell make really, really good machines, but their support is absolute. It's terrible. I mean, okay, I'll be honest. I mean, I've had a pretty good experience myself with Dell support one time, but I think it's because I was asking after an Alienware machine.
Yeah.
I was asking for support with an Alienware machine. Granted, it was a pre-Dell Alienware, but yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Still, I mean, because obviously the whole thing got sold, I believe, lock, stock, and barrel to Dell. It was Dell that I would have to go and talk to.
Makes sense.
Right. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go and fetch something, and I'll be back. And we'll start at a different angle. Right, so here we are, and here's the machine. Looks like it's got a Pentium dual core. Not the worst processors in the world, pretty good.
Oh, those are good. Those are good CPUs.
Mm-hmm. And it's got the Dell Optiplex logo. Now, I thought the Optiplex logo was actually peeling off. Turns out, it was just the protective plastic that was peeling off. Apparently it still had that on it. Nice. This has got a DVD burner, 2 USB ports, headphone and microphone, power switch, Dell logo. These things are fantastic. You can actually mount it up the way as well. You know, so depending on logistics. On the back, you actually have some legacy ports. You've got a parallel port, serial port, VGA port, 6 USB ports, Ethernet, and then a headphone, and then a combined microphone or line-in port. And then you've got the power adapter. So, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, the only thing it's missing is PS2. Dell would actually spec one of these up if you wanted. If you spoke to them nicely enough, they would actually spec it up with a PS2 mouse and keyboard thing that I think would go in one of the PCI slots there. Now, I've got some things to connect it up, so I'll just write the machine again and I'll be back. So, you're probably wondering what I'm going to be using this machine for. Why have I got it? Well, I've decided that I quite fancy a media center PC, just to use for my television over there, behind the laundry. And so I thought, you know, something from the kind of Vista era. Actually, I was lucky I got, you know, something from the Penryn era, Windows 7. This has got a 2.6 gigahertz Pentium dual core, and according to the auction, comes stock with 2 megabytes of RAM. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, because it's a media center machine, I'm going to be connecting it up to the computer using HDMI. Now, you'll have probably noticed that there is no HDMI lead on the back of that machine. Got that covered. This HD Radeon 6410, I believe it is anyway. Hopefully this machine has a PCIe slot, I think it does. And this card does have, if we have a look, it's got VGA, HDMI and DVI. So that will do. That'll do quite nicely, I think. Now, for the keyboard and mouse, I want something that I can operate in my lap. Now, I took a cue from Brandon Bishop's video where he actually got a keyboard with an inbuilt trackpad and then cheaped out. Yeah, but it's a wireless touchpad keyboard. Features touchpad with left and right button, 2.4 gigahertz portable wireless keyboard. That's not good. I hope it doesn't interfere with my Wi-Fi. If it does, I'm going to bash its brains in. So, I've got all the cables ready there, but I'm going to unbox this keyboard now, because what I'm going to do is attach the keyboard, the receiver to the USB port. before I slide the machine into place. So, I'm going to take it, this is a battery. Now, if you were going to ask me, gee, do I buy an Advent computer? I would say, no. Don't even think about it. Because you will regret it. I know. I made that mistake before. And that was after working at PC World, knowing how unreliable these machines are. So, I've been stupid so that you don't have to. Right, okay. So, we seem to have the keyboard and cable. I don't know if it's a charging cable or what, but yeah, because it is wireless. So it's gonna, as you can see, it's actually smaller than the computer itself. So what are the keys like? Well, they're the chocolate style. They're not too bad though, they do have quite a nice firm action. Obviously it's no Model M, but, you know, it'll do. And there's play and pause buttons, volume up and down buttons, and a mute button. It's not as good as the Logitech that Brandon Bishop has, by any stretch of the imagination. But then, you know, this was only £22. So, let's have a look. So it's got an on-off switch. And it's got a USB cable there. So I believe you actually charge the keyboard, which is actually quite a useful thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to see if I can unbox this wee pin box. I'm guessing this is actually, yep, receiver inside. That's actually the transceiver. Yep, this is the receiver. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it in the back. It's one of the USB ports. Now, it is my plan to attach a TV tuner so I can record TV on this, because after all it is a media center. It's also my plan to attach a larger hard disk drive as well. And I have an analog to digital TV tuner, which will be brilliant, because this guy might want some action. My VCR. So, that's good. Now, so that's ready. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll plug the USB cable for the receiver in at the back so that it's always there. And I need to plunk the keyboard on charge. So, well, I got this machine with my Christmas money that I got off my parents. So, thank you very much. You've enabled it so I can buy one of the best machines, an example of one of the best machines I've ever had the good fortune to work on in my professional and indeed personal life. It was machines like this that actually made me take notice of Dell as a serious computer manufacturer. You know, with how easy they are to service and to keep track of and what have you. Anyway, time to plonk this machine in its home, and I'll be right back for a smoke test. And now we have a road geek with us. He's...
I'm sorry I'm late. I got to spend my evening on the phone with AT&T.
Oh yes.
Story.
Yep. Find out all about it on Billy's channel. So we're now...
But nobody wants to hear this, even I don't.
You had to live it. Right, we've now got the Optiplex hooked up. And I'd just like to say, for all of those who are wondering, the NES is sat snugly between the intake vents on the 360, not blocking them. Thank you.
Yeah, people seem to get rather sensitive when it comes to PC cooling.
Oh no, it's Xbox 360 cooling. Right.
Now that I can understand.
I mean, those things... I mean, that thing would overheat in the Arctic Circle. Powered off.
In water.
Yes.
Water cooling won't work.
Al Gore keeps going on about the ice caps. It's the world supply of Xbox 360s. Join the PC Master Race.
Yeah, those and the Penny and Ford Prescotts are destroying the Earth.
Okay, now you can see me. What an ugly sight. Yeah, and I know my TV needs cleaned. I will clean it. Right. So, we're away to plug this in. Hopefully this will be a video to show off a computer on YouTube and not to a health insurance company. To quote...
The news is it would get you higher ratings on YouTube at a pretty good cost, I imagine.
Well, I wouldn't be able to render the video, and nobody else would. I mean, nobody else knows the pin to my phone, for one thing.
Yeah, and not to mention you'll probably be in the hospital with third-degree burns.
And to be honest, I nicked that from your video of an HP Pavilion you bought out of Value Village.
Oh yeah, that video is way too popular for some reason.
Right, okay. Who's ready to get a load of Dell Optiplex action?
I am. I love me a good Dell.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Smoke test! Oh, when I find the button. We have signs of life, people.
I assume it has those little diagnostic lights on the front. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Beep, beep.
Oh, I recognize that beep.
Yep, probably dead CMOS battery. Great stuff.
Maybe just needs to get a little charge in it.
Oh, it's saying no boot device is available. Press F2 for setup utility. Does the keyboard work? Obviously it does. And it's got the fancy graphics BIOS on it.
Oh, that's nice. And I assume it's USB only for input.
Yeah, but the mouse bit doesn't seem to be working at the moment. That's a bit of a worry. The keyboard works, and it's a touchpad keyboard. Like I said before, this has a Windows 7 COA.
Those are always good to have.
So I'm using a Dell Windows 7 disk, and it has the same splash screen and BIOS as my Dell Latitude E6500.
And probably my E6420 as well.
Yep. Alright, so now the machine is set up and is online, which is a wee bit foolish, but never mind. Obviously the first thing I need to do is switch up the mouse pointer, because I really can't see it here.
Detect any drivers from the start?
I believe the display driver's been detected. And the sound as well.
Yeah, because Windows 7 is pretty good about that on those older ones.
Yep, there we go, we have sound.
It's just probably seeing it as just as a generic high definition audio thing.
But I do have the drivers from Dell's website. Obviously, at some point I'm going to have to alter the resolution. So this is actually the second Dell I'm installing today. This honestly feels like a this honestly feels like a desktop version of my Latitude E6500. So I might see if I can get a Penryn Core 2 Duo 2.53 GHz. It's a nice chip. It's quite funny that seem to be doing getting a lot of 2.5s at the moment. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is update the BIOS. Now, I'm going to have to make sure the battery in this is fully charged. Oh wait, it's a desktop. Replace AO2 BIOS with AO7? Hell yeah! Alright, attempting BIOS update, please wait. Don't you just love the optimism? And it's actually a Phoenix BIOS. So,
is it a PV600?
Yeah, I distinctly heard dee-dee when I switched it on. I'm amazed I can run Windows 7 on a Pentium 100. BIOS update successful. I wonder if that means I can use the mouse.
Those, any kind of BIOS update on any kind of computer always makes me nervous while I'm doing it.
Oh, tell me about it. Still can't use the mouse, but I found I was able to go into the BIOS and use the keyboard to get around.
Well, that's good. I figured there's some way to use a keyboard.
Yeah, don't know why I couldn't do so the first time. BIOS revision A07, that's good. Someone's twittering me.
I'd reword that, Jay.
Someone's tweeting. Someone is tweeting like a little bird in a tree. Well, it seems my battery went, but I have got this machine set up. A couple of notes. I do believe that I will need to upgrade the RAM pretty quickly. I mean, 2 gigs, it's just not enough. Seriously. The Windows 7 64-bit, I mean, that's a minimum it needs to run. So I'm going to kind of run it with 4. It should be okay for this system. So I've connected the media center remote up to this. So let's set it up. Why is it switched on my Xbox? Apparently it shares the same frequency as my 360. Okay, so we know my 360 works. Anyway, I think next week, get some money, get myself a half a terabyte hard drive, get myself some extra memory, reinstall Windows. Jobs are gidgeon. But look, Dell branded media center. Now, I'm gonna install Power DVD, and I'm gonna give this the old college try with a Blu-ray. Well, today is Monday, January the 12th, but despite it being only 9:30, I've already been shopping. What we have here is a couple of bits, some DDR3 memory, it's 2 gig stick, 1600 megahertz, very nice, and an NVIDIA GeForce G2210. Now I know what some of you are saying. I know some of you are saying that, will probably say that this is a crappy card and, you know, it's no good for anything, you know. But what you got to remember is that the Dell machine is a media center. Literally all I need of this card is an HDMI port, and this I think should do the trick. So let's get the machine back up on the table and let's get these parts installed. Okay, so what I've done is I've actually taken the bracket off of this graphics card because, you know, I'm needing one that's oh, nice, shiny. Because the Dell Optiplex, as we found out earlier in the video, is a low profile. Now, the reason I've went for a new graphics card entirely is because, well, I did try with the AMD Radeon, and it didn't work as well as I was hoping. I'm just hoping this one works better. Now, this graphics card. I will need to buy a bracket for this, and it's something that I do plan on doing. So, for the meantime, I'm going to run it with the bracket off. I'm just going to have to be really careful that I don't budge the machine at all. But you know, the motherboard does have a clip to kind of hold the card in place. So that should be good. I will get a bracket. You can get low profile brackets. And yeah, and then once that arrives, I'll obviously fit that. And, you know, the card will be in there properly. So for the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the screws, I'm going to stick the screw in at the top of the HDMI port, and I'm going to put the, I'm going to also put the screw holes on either side of the DVI port. And I'll put this in a box that the graphics card came in, so I won't need VGA. Okay, so I wouldn't normally recommend doing that with a graphics card. Don't follow what I'm doing, you might damage your computer. Right, so what I'm literally going to do, I'm just going to take this wee thing off. Lift this up. I'm going to pull out this blanking plate. See, these Dells really are that easy to work on. Seriously. I'm just going to knock this in there. Just put this card in. Kind of feel like I'm working with an Apple II, not having a blanking plate. It kind of does kind of. Oh dear! Look at this. It's the It's the Optical II. Or it's the Apple IIplex. Right. I think this is, yep, so as you can see, I mean, yeah, the card will wobble, but it shouldn't actually go anywhere. But still, I want to keep that as still as possible. Now, for updating the memory. I'm just going to... So, yeah, there we go. Now... I just move this, make sure I'm opening the correct DIMM socket. There we go. There we go. There's 1 gig. Now I am aware that because I'm upgrading from 2 1 gig sticks to a 2 and a 1, I will no longer be in dual channel mode. However, getting another 2 gigs of RAM is something, you know, that I can maybe aspire towards in the future. along with the Blu-ray drive. Because I've realised, you know, I've had to buy the graphics card. There really is no... Well, I mean, I can use my external drive for the moment, but I'd really like an internal, so I'll wait and I'll get one of those. Right, okay, here we go. Of course, I'm right-handed. There we go. And that's the desktop memory RAM installed. Right, now let's hook this up and see if it goes. Well, I think that is in working order. It's 3 gigs of RAM, and unlike the other graphics cards that I tried, this one actually shows the BIOS, whereas the AMD ones didn't. So this machine is, well, just about ready for the time being. I'll go on eBay, get myself a low profile PCI bracket, and you know, as soon as that's installed, I'll feel better about the whole thing. But for the time being, I believe that this machine works, and I'm really glad about that. Okay, so while this graphics card did actually come with a CD-ROM with drivers and what have you on it, I'm not going to be using it. What I've instead chosen to do is to go to NVIDIA's website and download, well, I've decided to go and download the drivers for the, well, the latest drivers. That way, you know, I can hope to get the best performance from the card. Now, another reason why I chose the 210, over even something, say, like the 610, which I've had, is because these Dells usually only have something like a 255 watt power supply, and the 210 is not a powerful card at all. It just doesn't do. Oh, okay. It just it doesn't use a lot of power. So, you know, and it is kind of perfect for the media center stuff. I know it's perfect because the G41's own graphics are pretty good for the HDMI stuff. So now, you know, I'm just away downloading the driver for this card, and it's not doing too badly. NVIDIA's servers are actually pretty fast, I've got to be honest. Now, I'm also hoping that once the driver's installed, I actually start getting audio through the HDMI port. Because at the moment, I'm not getting anything. Just got like millions of high definition audio devices. Oh, okay. Oh, and this is a Dell Windows 7 installation disk that I've used. Now, I have tested this with a Blu-ray. I managed to kind of use a bit of software to bypass the copy protection measures which stop you from being able to play Blu-rays through an analog interface. And, you know, it played absolutely fine. It wasn't the clearest in the world, but you know, going through VGA, it's not going to be. Certainly not on this TV anyway. But you know, I was happy with the performance, so you know, hopefully this machine should be good as soon as I get my you know, as soon as I get it accessing stuff from the desktop. Then things, yeah, it'll be brilliant. All right, nearly done. Nearly done. I've never had a 2 series NVIDIA card. NVIDIA graphics driver. I'm actually glad I went for NVIDIA. You know, like I said, you know, I've had odd issues with AMD cards, including the one earlier today. You know, when it wouldn't let me access the BIOS screen. You know, so I do prefer NVIDIA cards because I find them to be better behaved. I'm just gonna let this install everything that it needs to. And in the meantime, be brainwashed about the NVIDIA Shield and how it's going to improve all of our lives. Oh. And here's one for LL3 and Road Geek. Downloading and install Microsoft .NET Framework. This is going to take some time. So, now we're back. And I've ordered the low-profile PCI bracket. And it actually comes with a placeholder for the VGA. VGA out, should I need it. But hopefully the bracket should get here soon, and you know, and then the card will be properly, safely secured into the system, which, you know, I think I'll feel more comfortable about. Anyway, we're just installing the driver, and hopefully it shouldn't take too long, and I should get some sound. I believe I should get sound. Not entirely sure which cable this was. Installing graphics driver. Obviously it can take a while. The screen will obviously herpaderp. Ah, now installing HD audio driver as well. Installing, like, all sorts. 3D vision driver. Yeah, like this card can do 3D, I mean, proper 3D, not 3D graphics. And these should be fine for 2D graphics, which is really what I need. The way it's meant to be played. NVIDIA. Well, That's the way I play it, anyway. Alright. That's all installed. And it's just a case of restarting the machine. $1280 by $720. Excellent. We have a full screen and we have sound. I'm happy. Oh. Well then, that's awkward. Now it's gone too much the other way. First it had a border, now it's blimmin' zoomed in. That's... Ugh. Can I reset the picture? Ah, jings. I mean, I know on the PC I can actually change things like this, and I can actually get it to auto-adjust. I wonder if I switch to PC and then switch back. Actually, I think there might be something in the graphics options that lets me change that. Right. HDCP. High definition content protection technology, blah blah blah. This display supports HDCP. That's good. Aha! Just desktop size and position. Right. Select scaling mode. Let's try. That didn't do anything. That didn't do anything either. Perform scaling on GPU. Let's try that. No. Right, let's... Seems to be giving quite a fuzzy output, does this as well. That, you know, I'm not entirely happy about. And I know that's actually the cable, believe it or not. I think, you know, because the other cable seems to be absolutely fine. But I believe what I can do here is I can actually change the width and the height of the desktop. There we go. So there we go. I've actually managed to get it to fit on the display. I mean, it looks fine on camera, but I've got to say it is a wee bit fuzzy. You know, like I said, I think it could be the cable. Just video. Color settings are just video. Edge enhancement, noise reduction. Just gotta kind of like experiment, I guess. That did absolutely nothing. And if it doesn't work, I mean, I can always swap the connectors over. Typical. Yeah, edges are fuzzy. That is true, actually. The edges are quite fuzzy. Let's see if I... See, that's not giving me anything, really. Yeah, this isn't working as well as I was hoping. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly give it the old switcheroo with the cables. I'll be right back. Okay, so this cable, it's got slightly softer edges, but it actually works, you know. And that is a good thing. It doesn't actually look like a PC coming through a PAL television. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is I'm using Ninite to automate the installation of regular programs that I use. And yes, I am going to put Dropbox on here. Also, I found out my spare Microsoft HD 3000 live cam, and I've hooked it up to this machine, you know, in case I want to Skype on the big screen, just because I can. But this all seems to be working rather nicely. It's running as sweet as a nut, as well as Dell Optiplex might. Yep, this... Oh, now here's the... this is one that quite often likes to go wrong. Installing iTunes. Dun dun dun! I've decided to go for AVG 2015 for this build. And different browsers give me access to, like, you know, I use Firefox as my main browser. I like Opera It's quite small, and Google Chrome obviously gives me access to Google-based services. Internet Explorer, of course, that gives me access to viruses, should I need them. And yeah, kind of looking forward to seeing how Microsoft's new browser comes out. I have heard about Spartan. Not much, but hey, it's quite exciting. You know, I just wonder if people... Oh, look, iTunes installed. Well done. I do wonder, though. I mean, this is something that does concern me. Are people going to think that it's just a Microsoft browser, ergo it's going to be terrible? We've been used to Internet Explorer and its wee foibles for so long now that, I do wonder if people are going to give this the new browser a chance. I mean, that is one of my concerns, actually, about Spartan, is that it is just Internet Explorer rehashed. Although I'm told that it's a new browser, it really kind of just depends on how good it is, whether, people would be, trusting enough to make the switch. Another thing about, the other browsers, certainly something that's kind of true of Chrome and Firefox, is they're cross-platform. So, you've got your Firefox set up on your computer, you've got all your bookmarks. Same with Chrome. You take it on the road, you've got it on your smartphone, you've got it on your tablet. Maybe you use different platforms. Maybe you have an Apple Mac, maybe you have a Linux box. And Firefox and or Chrome are there. I think Opera on Mac OS X, not sure about Linux though, not nowadays. I know Opera used to be included with Linux. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I know Opera, the newest version of Opera is actually built on Chromium, which is the open source version of Google Chrome. So, yeah, it just depends. I mean, Spartan does have some pretty big boots to fill, and it's got to... I think it's got to kind of shake off, the memory of its dad, literally, Internet Explorer. So let's hope this new browser is better. It'd be kind of nice. I mean, we've all kind of been preconditioned to hate Internet Explorer to a certain degree. I mean, it's not completely undeserved though either. Internet Explorer is not being the best browser in the world. I mean, yeah, IE10 and IE11, from IE9, it was kind of starting to be improved, but it's still not as good as the alternatives. So anyway, once again, I will be back once, like I said, once I've got everything else ready. Well, folks, here we are sometime later. It is now January the 20th, I believe. Tuesday morning. In fact, yes, it is. That's exactly what the date is. And, well, at least for the time being, at least until I get some more money that I can put towards it, the Dell Optiplex 380 has been completely configured. Actually, I say it has. There's just one more thing that I need to do. But I have actually installed a few things. Some things that probably don't need, but, well, you know me. A computer is not a computer without Office. Let's just kind of put that to one side. However, I've installed Power DVD, I've installed AVG, and there's a few other things that I've installed that I think will help me with my media center. So let's go into Windows Media Center. And this kind of this is a wee problem that I'm probably going to have to iron out with more memory or, you know, CPU upgrade or something. It's really quite... It takes an age for the system to get into Windows Media Center. I mean, literally, an age. It takes a lot longer than it should, and it's even worse on a cold boot. I mean, this is me just getting into it just after, you know, I've been in there. I mean, once in Media Center, the system is absolutely fine. I can play Blu-ray discs with this system. I've tried with my external DVD drive. And actually, I've been testing it out. I've been watching some Harry Potter. I watched the first and second Harry Potter DVDs on this system, and they run absolutely fine. Not tried upscaling though, so that's going to be quite interesting to see if it works. And I figured out why this system might be taking a while. Yeah. It's scanning for viruses! Alright. So let's have a look at, well, let's get a games menu going first. Sorry, I'm kind of struggling to see here. It's, I would need... Let's display that as a link, shall we? Yeah. Alright, so if we go into games... Now, I'm not going to be making this a gaming machine, it's only got a GeForce 210 in it. However, let's have a look. Yay, Purple Place! Sorry, I had to do that. The birth of that meme was in the video that featured me actually looking at this machine's predecessor, the Optiplex 360. So yeah, I kind of had to do that. Now, some stuff that I can show you. I've got some emulators running, and I think, you know, I think that would be absolutely brilliant on a system like this. So now, if I was able to, obviously I can't do much because the controls are... This is not meant to be played one-handed. That was my extremely poor attempt at trying to emulate something. Well, no, I mean, it emulated just fine. It's just that, yeah, I obviously am terrible at Alex Kidd, and I'm even worse one-handed. Anyway, that's a Dell Optiplex, like I said. It's going to be running slower, obviously, while it scans for viruses. Normally it's quite a quick machine. Oh, that reminds me, that's what I was going to do. I was going to go into Windows Media Center to have a look, see if the MC version of Solitaire is still there. There are versions of all the games, so my mind wasn't actually playing Oh, there we go. Yay, Purple Place! Once again. So yeah, it was, there are kind of Media Center specific versions. Let's see. And I think these are designed to be played with the remote control and on a bigger screen, as you can possibly tell. Let's have a look. Oh, looks like you're still going to have to play this one with a mouse. Right, so we're supposed to be making a chocolate cake. Oh, do you know what? I can't really see what I'm doing. Look, this is gonna go all wrong. Right, okay, so it's a double-decker. Nope. Yep. Cake. It's chocolate. It's... Wait a minute. Oh, no. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. There we go. Gameplay tip. I don't care about that either. So then we need to add another chocolate layer. Another round layer. Make it chocolate. What? There is no such... Oh yeah. Yeah, there is. And then, I think this has got to have a red love heart on it. Cake matched order. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, I mean, that's Parable Place. Well, obviously there's different bits to Parable Place, but the cake factory is obviously my favourite bit of Parable Place. Then, of course, there's Hearts, Klondike Solitaire, and Spider Solitaire. So let's have a look at that. Let's have a look. Let's go beginner. Oh, why'd you have to make the card so small? I can't even see. Ah, now I see what. So you can change the card deck, and you can change the background. Classic felt, red hearts, green nature, red felt, brown felt. Yeah, that kind of looks like some sort of media center. So obviously, you want to try and get a suit. There we go. 7, 8, 9, 10. How could aces be 1 or 11? Huh? So I think I'd need a... Oh, no, queen. There we go. 4, 5... I can stick a queen. Might be in for my first full suit this early on in the game. Hey. Oh no. That's there's no way to happen unless I get a jack or a 2 or and a 2. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be playing this game fully. Because I'm already needing on hints. You can barely see what I'm doing on this. Because, my vision. Let's have a look. Display animations, play sounds, show tips. Always continue save game, always save game on an exit. Well... See, there's nothing about bigger cards. I mean, it's made them slightly bigger. It's different. Kind of the cards look different compared to the regular desktop version of the game. And the funny thing, I mean, Windows Media Center probably would have kind of paved the way for Windows 8, but at least Windows Media Center was optional. James, do you know what? I can't be bothered with that. But there you have it. You had games in Media Center. And then you just kind of go... Oh, James, what have I started the new? Oh, chess. Nice. Chess Titans. Can pretend like I'm pretend like him at the kind of end scene of the Philosopher's Stone, and I've got to play a game of chess to get myself across the room to the next room where Professor Quirrell's there with Lord Voldemort. Actually, I found something out, not sure how true it is, but apparently Voldemort is actually supposed to be pronounced Voldemort. You see, Voldemort's name was actually taken from the French Voldemort, which means flight of death. I didn't know that. It's like all these years, you know, it's all these years that you know, been calling him Voldemort, as is everyone else. You know, just and in French, obviously the T would be silent. You know, Voldemort, and it's exactly the way same as how Belle d'Autreeve's name was spelled in King of the Hill, or his full name, William Fontaine de la Tour d'Autrive. Which I can't even mind what it means, but it's like something about fountain on the some river or something. I can't even mind. Although I always thought, you know, Riviere. But yeah. Anyway, that's I finally managed to conclude this video of the Dell Optiplex 380. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'm going to use this as my media centre, you know, probably mostly when, you know, if I have guests over, you know, put a film on the big screen or something. It's, quite often I'll watch stuff on the computer, although it was nice tonight being able to actually just sit down in front of the big screen and watch, you know, Harry Potter, and, you know, got it connected up with a hi-fi and what have you. So yeah. But in conclusion, that actually does conclude this video. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I am going to remove that hard drive from there because otherwise it would be blocking the Xbox's vents. And I wouldn't want that. But I hope you've all enjoyed this video. If you have, please feel free to subscribe. Also feel free to follow me on Facebook and read my blog. The URLs for all three will follow. Hope you've enjoyed watching this video, but please join me for my next one.